Rodriguez. Number 39, player Tyler Rodriguez. Number 73, spotter Casey Scroggum. Number 53, player Aaron C.
Yesterday, Archers have to win this one and then win another game to claim the championship. It would be one and done with a victory for the Indy Thunder. My name is Greg Rakestraw. We'll be joined by Neal McDonald for our coverage today here on the ISC Sports Network. Neal, a pleasure to be working with you. And what are your expectations and thoughts going into today's game?
Pleasure to work with you also. Thanks for having me with you. You know, you called the Bonanza Championship back in May, and these same two teams squared off. I was doing the third place game while you were doing that title game, and I told our audience there that I'd be surprised if we didn't see these same two teams match up again here at the World Series, and that has come to fruition. I got to give an edge to the Thunder. I mean, both they come in as the undefeated team, but as good a lineup as the Gateway Archers has, it's hard to match up with that Thunder lineup.
The lineups are being introduced. Darnell Booker, who of course is tied in with the Indy Thunder, is also serving as the Master of Ceremonies, as his role as Vice President of the NBBA. And for those that are familiar with the sport, this will be kind of rudimentary or elementary for them. But for maybe our general ISC audience that is watching this for the first time, Neal, what sort of effort goes into having this event every year?
Off the field, I was part of hosting it in Sacramento, California back in 1999. It's a ton of work that takes place for a city. You start working on it about two years out to gather all the sponsorship, the volunteers. There's a lot that goes into it. It started out as a 4-day tournament, expanded to a 5, and this year for the first time ever, it's a 6-day tournament. You need volunteers on the field all day long. While teams are playing as many as 3 games in a day, there's just so much that goes into it. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun.
For our sighted consumers of our broadcast today, there was a gentleman wearing an Indy Thunder hat with a 26-0 notation on it. That was last year's team. This year's group is 15-0. They played in one fewer tournament. Again, Indy has not lost a game since 2024. And obviously, Neal, there's this pretty good battle in Indianapolis between the Thunder and the Edge. And the Edge were in the last 4 teams that were playing as of yesterday. Looks like Indianapolis, again, has a good chance of bringing home a title. Obviously, the Gateway Archers have something else in mind.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out to the Edge. They made a nice run. They came in as the 7 seed because they lost some players after last year. But they made a good run to get into the top 4. Ran out of gas there, but they had a good run.
Let's listen in to Steve Miller of the Cleveland Scrappers performing our national anthem. When you're Steve Miller, you better be able to play guitar. It just kind of goes with having that name. But just like so many of our athletes, again, wearing the full face shield, doing this without the benefit of sight. And Neal, it floors me. And again, this is the first time I've been here for the World Championship. As you noted, we at ISC for the better part of the last decade have done the Love Tito's Beat Baseball Bonanza at North Central High School on the north side of Indianapolis. I know you played the sport for many years. I continue to be floored by what these athletes accomplish each and every time they step on the field.
Yeah, I had eyesight until I was almost 11 years old, and I played baseball and football and basketball and all that stuff. And after you lose your eyesight, there for me, and this was back I lost my sight in '79, and in the '80s, I couldn't find team sports to play like I did. I didn't find beat baseball till '86, 40 years ago, and I fell in instant love because I heard about this World Series of beat baseball and everything that goes into it, and I knew that very day before ever stepping on the field I wanted to be part of this.
We have a ceremonial first pitch coming up in a matter of moments, and we have the official coin toss and roster submissions and things of that nature that will be taking place momentarily.
All right. Thank you.
Final huddle for the Gateway Archers. Aaron C. getting loose on the field. One of the 6 starters for the Indy Thunder.
That's a big man right there.
Aaron, a former college football player again before losing his vision and still partially sighted, but again, let's point out that, again, everyone wears a full face mask, face shield. Complete blindness is required to play the sport. Again, if you have to readjust, you have to make sure you're turning away from the field as to not gain a competitive advantage. There will be some blindfold checks that will happen during the course of today's game. Jason Price is our lead official, as he often is. Some of the team captains are meeting at the middle of the field. Representing the Indy Thunder, Kyle Lewis, Jerry Wendell, Aaron C., Adam Rodenbeck. Having that honor for the Gateway Archers, Orlando Gonzalez, Shea Morris, Mark Morris. Also Ethan Johnston representing hear Jason Price's voice in the background. We'll listen in as best we can.
We are using instant replay, and so each team will have 2 challenges. If you win that challenge, you retain it. If you lose that challenge, then that's gone for the game. As always, if you do have an issue, call time, talk to the umpire first, let your coach make that approach. Let them know what you think, and they'll tell you why they call it is. And if we need to talk with the umpire closest to that play or that base, we can do that as well. Like, we want to get the calls right for this World Series, okay? Our arch, go ahead.
Does that count as a challenge?
That does not. So that's kind of like regular, but we're not going to going around to everybody. If we need to do something like that, then we will do the challenge. But if it's like getting a call, like somebody has their back towards me or something, we'll go out and we'll check like we normally do. And then if it is a challenge, I will ask, is this an official challenge, and we will go in and take a look at it. Other than that, archers, are all your players properly legally equipped, and is your equipment legal?
Yes, sir.
All right, same question for you, Thunder. All right, this will be your warning, or this will be the announcement for illegal bats, so we don't want to have any illegal equipment out here. All right, does anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah.
All right.
Jason?
Yes, sir?
We want blindfold checks every inning before you go to
Yep.
the field.
In the championship game, we will have the blindfold check, so it line up on, before the game, we're going to line.
All right, so unfortunately, Jason's mic cut out. We'll hear him throughout the course of the broadcast. And to get Neal, for those that are new to the sport, kind of walk us through what Jason was doing there behind home plate.
Just giving them the kind of overall view, what to expect, what they expect as the umpires. They don't want players just coming up yelling and saying, hey, you got that wrong. You got to take the proper measures, talk to your coach, have the coach go talk to the umps and let them figure it out from there. They just want everybody to, handle themselves with proper conduct as the game goes on. I played for over 20 years, Greg, and I'm a hothead, so yeah, it's understandable. You don't want anybody out there mouthing off. You just want to have a clean game.
The coin toss just took place, and again, we don't determine who the home and visiting team is until we have this coin toss right before the beginning of the game. And again, Neal, if you win the coin toss, you're taking last at bats here, correct?
Well, you know what? I had the pleasure of playing in 9 of these games, Greg, and when we went in as the undefeated team, even if we won the coin toss, we would go with the away, because if there's a second game, then we wanted to be the home team in that second game.
So with that, the Thunder are the home team. So both teams having a bit of a huddle. Let's take a quick timeout. will come back. And first pitch of this championship game of the World Series, again, if the Archers win, we'll come back and play an if necessary game immediately after. Back with the start of this one in a matter of moments as you're watching the 50th annual Beat Baseball World Series. You're doing so on the ISC Sports Network.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beat Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
There you see the Gateway Archers again. They will be at the plate first. Their batting lineup today is Eric Rodriguez. That will be a name we'll call out all day because, well, his brother plays for the Indy Thunder. Again, this happens in this sport. It may be where you're from, but you may end up living in a different place. You don't have to live in a certain market to play for a certain team. So the Rodriguez brothers, one of them's going to win a world championship today. We're just not sure which one it's going to be.
Whichever one it is,
exactly.
It's another one.
Rings like Liberace at this point. For the Archers, Eric Rodriguez, Nick Mulheron, Zion Price, Ethan Johnston, Tim Chappell, and Mark Morris are the batting lineup for the Archers. And the addition of Nick Mulheron got your attention, Neal.
Yeah, you know, he played with them. You saw him play in this lineup back in May at the Bonanza, but I never heard exactly what he pulled. He pulled a muscle ahead of the World Series, and I wasn't expecting to see him at all when you named him off in the lineup. But it's like that's a nice addition, but the Archers are going to need that extra punch.
The Indy Thunder, again, they'll bat in the bottom half of the lineup. Cody Jeffries will lead things off. Zach Bueller, who kind of splits his time between playing goal ball and playing with the Indy Thunder. He is here for the World Championship Series. Gerald Dykes, wearing number 10 on your screen, will bat third. Justin Holland, number 6, will bat fourth. The aforementioned Aaron C. will bat fifth. And Tyler Rodriguez will bat sixth. Adam Rodenbeck will see time in the field. But maybe the best way to illustrate just how good this Thunder lineup is, Neal, is that Kyle Lewis is a heck of a player. And he is not in the field or in the batting lineup for the Indy Thunder today.
Same with David Smith. Like they got a few players that are sitting on their bench that could be starting somewhere else. It's nice to have that kind of depth.
Jason Frazier leads the charge for this Gateway Archer squad. I feel like with the folks at Mind's Eye and St. Louis, now a place that you happen to call home.
Yeah, it's been my home for nearly 2 years now. When you named off the lineup, we had 5 home runs to my count at this World Series. Justin Holland hit the second one Monday night. First night of the tournament, we had 2 home runs, and Justin Holland was the second one to get on the board with a home run this year.
Again, home runs count as 2 runs. That's to clear the 170-foot line in fair territory. Ball has to go at least 40 feet for it to be in play. And again, for those that are watching this sport for the first time, you're going to be amazed. Thank you for being with us. You're not going to turn the channel for the remainder of the time that we are broadcasting today. Again, you hear Jason Price, the umpire, going through the blindfold check down the first base line. The reason we have is the audio you're hearing right now.
All right, heads up, guys. I'm going to walk through.
Some that are going to be new to the sport, checking out for the first time, might think 170 feet for a home run. The ball is a 16-inch ball that weighs 1 pound. It's got the beeping device in it. It's got protection in it so that they can use it. We use in this sport usually like 35, 36, 38-ounce bats because of the size of the ball. So that's why the home run line is so close. Even at 170, we only saw 5 of them this week.
Mike Curtis is the pitcher that is warming up for the Gateway Archers. Jared Woodard, who is the head coach, will be the pitcher when the Indy Thunder come to bat. And again, for those who are new to the sport, pitcher and catcher are with the batting team. You're trying to give a pitch. You're trying to place the ball in a spot where your batter can make contact.
Yeah, pitcher, catcher, batter, all on the same team. Your job as a hitter is to have the same level swing every time you swing it, and as the pitcher is saying, either ready pitch, ready ball, you've got to line your timing up off that gate.
I want to make sure I note this because you can see him in the background there. Ikramola wearing number 99 for the Indy Thunder. We just cut away from him. His family is watching in Pakistan today. Hello to all of you watching from literally across the globe this World Series event.
Also, Ethan from the Archers, he was raised in Missouri, but he was born in Ethiopia. And when he was around 10 years old or so, he was adopted to a family in Missouri. So I don't know that he has family. He's made a connection back with his family. I don't know if they're going to be watching, but we could have people as far away as Ethiopia watching also.
So the Gateway Archers be at the plate first. Eric Rodriguez, in 20 at-bats, has 13 runs, has struck out just one time in the tournament.
That one time was the game I was calling yesterday, the third place game. He came out of that game in the second inning. They had some ice on one of his knees, but he was up walking around the sideline. They had a sizable lead. They led by as much as 8 runs in 2 different spots of that game. But then the Philly Fire, who they were playing, started making a comeback. And he strapped it up and got back in the game, but that's when his one strikeout was.
Thank you.
You hear the alternating bases. Eric Rodriguez gives the nod, and this championship game is underway. Contact foul territory to get. Those of you that are sighted that are enjoying the broadcast, you see we'll go double box when the ball is in play to give you that simultaneous look as to
One strike.
fielder making the play, batter trying to score the run down one of the baselines. Elevated contact made just shy of the 40-foot line and rolls into foul territory. Strike number 2, Rodriguez yet to take his pass.
Something else that's a little unusual for those baseball fans checking this out. We just play with first and third, and you do not automatically run to first base. There's a base operator that randomly chooses a base after you make contact. And if the hitter can get to that base before the defense gets the ball off the ground, that's a run.
So Rodriguez getting himself lined up. Love the pink batting gloves that Eric is sporting today.
2 strikes. Play.
Dale Bauer is the catcher. Swing and a miss. And here, 4 strikes. Some tournaments play with 3, but we play with 4 here.
Yeah, the official rules are 4. Some of the invitational tournaments for time constraints will drop it down to 3 strikes.
Rodriguez clears the 170-foot line, but did so in foul territory.
It went 170?
Just
Wow.
If it didn't land past 170, it came darn close. But it was about 30 or 40 feet foul down the third base line.
Would have been a nice way to start the game.
And home runs are rare, leadoff home runs even more rare.
I don't know if I've heard of a leadoff. One of the championships that Eric won with the Thunder, Corey White.
Play. That time.
Corey White had the only, to this time, walk-off home run in the championship game. Bottom of the 6th inning, down 1 run, and Corey White launched one over the line.
We try to keep noise to a minimum during gameplay. We're far enough back where Neal and I can talk uninterrupted. Line drive, left side, and picked up, out. Play made in the field. That's Cody Jeffries that was able to snag that one from his center field position. No, excuse me, that's Holland that made the play for the Thunder before Rodriguez got to the first base bag. 1 down.
Yeah, it's taken me a little bit to get used to that, Greg. I spent the week streaming games on YouTube for the MBBA, and we were sitting right behind home plate, so I had to talk a lot quieter while the play was going on.
You get to go full volume today, my friend. Enjoy.
I'm not used to it yet. I'll adjust.
We're in kind of in a shaded area about 150 feet away from home plate. So Nick Mulheron now will come to the plate.
You know, on that Indy Bonanza back in May, Nick Mulheron launched one 190 feet they had it measured at.
Elevates this one in foul territory.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Back in 2018 when Nick Mulheron was a rookie, he was the Rookie of the Year and the offensive MVP. I think only the second time in history that a rookie came in and had the best batting average of the World Series. Steve Stambaugh did it back in the early 90s.
So foul ball, elevated left side. First strike.
Play.
In our stats, these are Nick's first at-bats of the tournament.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm surprised he was here. Happy though. He's a good player. He's going to give the Archers some punch that they obviously need.
Elevated left side in fair territory, and that must have bounced just shy of the 170-foot line. That is a run. That was nearly a home run. Absolutely crushed it, and the Archers are on the board.
Foot or two, 2 feet.
Let's take a look on the replay to see how close he came to leaving the building.
Field unperfect.
Yes.
John Lykowski saying within a couple feet.
We have, I believe, a 4-umpire crew for today's game. Might be 6.
All right, we're setting the field.
Yeah, usually since there's no games going on, they bring all of our top umpires and put them all to work.
Here's Zion Prince. The last 2 teams make the final day of the tournament.
Started with 21, down to these last 2.
Zion 16 runs and 23 at-bats. Has struck out twice, just 12 strikeouts the entire tournament for Gateway.
As Zion was coming up, they knew what they had in him. They were calling him the future, and called him the future earlier this season, and his teammate Demetris Morrow corrected me. He said, no, the future's now.
Zion asked for time, and again, readjusts the mass, steps away from the field, not gain any sort of competitive advantage. This is a take.
Pass.
There's the one pass you get.
1 ball, 2
And you
strikes.
see the timing element of slapping the thigh as the ball goes by. Has to swing here. Right side, spins into foul territory. 3 strikes.
These same 2 teams met yesterday in the undefeated game, and it was a lopsided win for the Thunder. They put the game in the run rule by the end of the 4th inning. The Archers already off to a better start. They didn't score till the 3rd inning in the game yesterday, and against the Thunder, that's just a tough start.
These 2 teams played in the Beat Ball Bonanza Championship in Indianapolis. That was a walk-off win for the Thunder. Now again, Thunder without their complete team, but still.
Yeah, the Archers let one slip away there. They held a nice lead throughout most of that game.
Foul.
Swing and a miss. Or did he get a foul piece of that?
1
He
ball,
got a foul
3
piece. My
strikes.
apologies. Just grazed it.
Winning games at this level is something you kind of got to learn to do.
Ground ball, right side, off a fielder, sprint to the bag. Rodenbeck's got it, he's out. Both ball and runner sent down the first base side, and Prince did not get the best jump out of the batter's box. Adam Rodenbeck makes the play, 2 down.
Closing out games, especially when every hit is a run or an out, closing out games is one of the harder things for a team to learn. And I felt like the Archers, they had their chance big time in the Bonanza title, and they let that one slip away. Credit to the Thunder, though. They didn't stop fighting.
Here's Ethan Johnston.
All right, we're setting the field.
Ethan, 10 runs and 20 at-bats.
Thank you.
1 strikeout in today's game, or 1 in the tournament, I should say. Absolutely gorgeous morning here in the west side of Chicago. Since there's crops on the other side of the trees, I think we're officially at the end of the suburbs here in Aurora. Elevated, in play, popped up, center of the field, and safe is the call. Just couldn't get the ball up, could the fielder in time. That was Tyler Rodriguez that tried to make the defensive play. Give Johnson the run and make it 2 for the Archers.
Now coming up to bat, number 24, Tim.
Ball elevated, Neal right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, you know, that hand-ear coordination's nowhere near as accurate as hand-eye coordination, so you don't see a lot of balls caught out of the air. We're really taught to just try to get under it and be ready to make the play once it touches the ground. But that's a big plus when you can get the elevation and that ball hangs in the air. By the time it hits, the runner's almost at the base sometimes.
Ground ball, left side. Jim Chappell gets it past one fielder, and out is the call.
You got him.
Zach Bueller with the assist from Cody Jeffries, and that is the end of the inning. So Archers score 2. We'll let this defensive play take you to break. You're watching the 50th Annual NBBA Beat Baseball World Series. You're doing so on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
So something that we have the ability to do is have a challenge system here in today's event. And with that, I think you will see that it is, again, a bang-bang play. Zach Bueller just was lifting the ball up as Tim Chappell extended his right arm to hit the pylon, hits the pylon now.
Safe.
And he's going to be safe. Yeah, you can hear Jason Price's voice. We've got him mic'd up.
Okay, thank you.
But I think the inning's going to continue for the Gateway Archers.
You know, I know this is old school for you. Haven't been doing the bonanza
After
for
review,
quite
the
a
player
while.
touched the base as the ball was still on the ground, raising up, so the runner is safe.
The Archers get 3 in the inning.
But for us here at the NBBA World Series, this is our first title game ever where instant replay is available for challenges. So this was really cool. They've already put it to work, and it's going to go to the Archers' advantage.
And Jason is used to doing this at the Beat Ball Bonanza. So
Yeah. He actually really pushed. He put forth a rule for the league to vote on. And usually when we get a new rule, it doesn't go into play until the following year. But he didn't just put forth the rule for us to use the challenge, but for us to use it instantly today.
So Mark Morris at the plate. This rounds out the batting lineup for the Archers.
Mark Morris, normally the leadoff batter for the Archers. I'm not sure. I have no idea why they've shifted him down to 6. But he's got tremendous speed, and something the Archers helped him do when he joined them, because he's from Indianapolis. He played for the Thunder and the Eds before coming over to the Archers, but they helped him.
Ground ball in play, and he is out. Rodenbeck makes play. Go ahead and finish the thought, partner.
That was my fault. I didn't realize they were pitching. They helped him develop a swing to really elevate the ball and use that speed. He normally hits some really nice pop-ups, and with his speed, he's generally at the base by the time the ball hits the ground.
Well, since we have already taken a commercial break, we will keep it right here. Rodenbeck gets his second put out of the inning, so just one additional batter comes to the plate after the challenge. We will have a blindfold check for the players for the Gateway Archers.
You talked about everybody doing having to wear a blindfold. I'm totally blind. I have prosthetic eyes, so I don't even have light perception, but I had to wear a blindfold every single inning I ever played this game.
Well, this clearly is Beep Baseball. The Beep Kickball Association would like to congratulate all teams, players, coaches, and volunteers here at the 2026 Beep Baseball World Series. We invite you to come play Beep Kickball. It's not just for kids anymore, Beep Kickball is the fun and exciting sport for all ages and abilities. For more information, visit us at beepkickball.com or learn more about other blind sport products at our new sister organization, Ability360lab.com.
I was so excited years ago when the beep kickball was invented. I mean, for one, I loved playing kickball as a kid. But, you know, we mentioned how heavy the ball is, and trying to get young players playing beep ball is really difficult with a 1 pound ball. And once I came across the beep kickball, because the rules are similar to beep baseball, I was like, wow, what a great way to get young kids learning and developing to eventually come in and play beep baseball.
So Cody Jeffries, 18 plate appearances, 9 runs scored in his traditional leadoff spot. Jared Woodard, now the head coach of the Indy Thunder. Darnell Booker stepping away from that at the conclusion of last year.
Yeah, as first vice president, you're automatically, by default, the tournament director, and that's a big job.
2 quick strikes. There's the take.
There are 4 members of this Thunder team that have had babies over this past year. Cody, one of them, first-time father.
Contact made. Ground ball up the middle. Kick, save, and out. Rodriguez with the play. That's Eric that makes the play in the field. 1 down.
Erod's been one of the best defensive players for over a decade now.
And again, that's textbook. Kick both the legs out, hence the kick save reference. Knocked it down, picked it up, and Jeffrey's pretty speedy player, but frankly, he was not close to the bag when that play was made.
Cody Jeffries and Justin Holland came up playing for the Atlanta Chaos, and ever since Cody moved over here and started playing with the Thunder, he and Jared Woodard have just been a dynamite combination.
Like Beeler now to the plate. Elevated, right side. Bounding ball. Again, Rodriguez knocks it down.
Got him.
Got to it just in time. 2 down.
This is a much different start than yesterday, Greg.
Just elevated the ball as Zach got to the base. There's Gerald Dykes. 2 quick outs by the Thunder.
Gerald Dykes is a lot like Mark Morris I was describing with the speed, and if Gerald can elevate a ball, you're just not going to put him out. Lefty.
Gerald 13 for 18 so far here in the tournament.
His average, he's got to have one of the best career averages in the history of the game.
Dykes does not play in the field for the Indy Thunder.
Okay, we're set in the field.
At least he did not last inning.
Bases, please.
No, you mostly see him as a designated hitter.
Play.
Contact made. Elevated left side past Rodriguez. This will roll past the 170 line
as he gets to base.
Dykes slides into the bag for the first Thunder run. Rodriguez able to knock down the first 2 and just couldn't track that one. Zion Prince that was behind him, but even if Zion had gotten to it, I'm not sure that would have been in time for an out. Here's Justin Holland. Justin with a put-out recorded in the top of the inning.
All right, we're set in the
Again,
field.
Justin was one of our 5 home runs hit this week. Hit one Monday night.
How about being 14 for 15 so far in the tournament?
Oh, my goodness.
Swing and a miss.
You know, not only do they just have a fantastic lineup 1-6, they got the best pitcher in the league, too.
Swing and a miss there. 2-0 the count.
Mike Curtis is no joke for the Archers, but there's nobody better than Jared Woodard.
Here's the pass.
What we call a perfect game in beat baseball, you know, generally that's a pitcher not allowing anybody to get a hit. With us, a perfect game is no strikeouts. Mike Curtis had a perfect game on Thursday, their first game against the Philly Fire.
Just 12 total strikeouts this week.
Wow.
For the Archers. Ground ball, left side foul. And again, you will hear the umpire call that immediately in this sport to prevent the player from having to run towards the bag, to have the fielder stop and stay in position.
Here's to catch those. They're too hot now.
Very little I hated more when I played
Ball, 3 strikes.
than running about 80 feet down the line and hearing foul ball.
Wasted effort. Elevated, right side of the field. In the air, bounces. Player picks it up, but not in time. Zion Prince got to it, but by that time, again, Holland put so much air into the ball, had time to get to the base. Back-to-back runs for the Thunder.
Now coming up to bat, number 53, Aaron C.
Here is Aaron C. You mentioned the new Fathers Club for the Indy Thunder. He is
Aaron C is another one
of that group.
Joel Tolby, Aaron C., Cody Jeffries, and Tyler Rodriguez all had babies.
There's about 5 or 6 tents down the first base line for the Thunder. One of them might be the nursery at this point.
They have such a big following. When my ride that brought me over here was pulling in, they're like, wow, all the teams are already here live. We've got closer, and it's all just the Thunder.
See down the right field line in fair territory, and fielder has it. That's an out. That's out number 3. Just before Aaron can get to the first base bag. So after 1 inning in the books in this championship game, it's the Gateway Archers 3, the Indy Thunder 2. We're back in a moment as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
I want to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Jordan Shue, David Kahn making the trip up from Indianapolis yesterday. I would be part of that group that does that as well. Everyone else here based in the Chicagoland area, thanks to our talented photographers and replay operator that are here today to bring this game to you literally around the world. The 50th annual National Beep Baseball Association World Series. Again, this is our championship game now. Archers lead 3-2. If they win, we would have the if necessary game about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one.
That was a really good start, I think, for the Archers. Like I said yesterday, they were already playing from way behind by the end of the second inning. They didn't score their first run until the third inning, so this is a much better start for this Gateway team.
The top of the second inning, now coming up to bat, number 7, Eric Rodriguez.
So Eric Rodriguez will step to the plate.
Got to consider it a good start whenever your leadoff hitter gets to lead off 2 innings in a row.
We're setting the field. Bases, please.
So Rodriguez retired as a putout. Then he had 2 putouts in the bottom half of the first.
Pass.
Took the pass immediately.
Sure the audience can hear there's a little bit of a breeze out here. For you and I, it's beautiful and comfortable. It's really tough to play this game with wind.
Strike.
11!
As it is when we're running, trying to listen for a base, the wind's blowing. If you're running fast enough, the wind's blowing in your ears a little bit, but when there's a breeze, it makes it a lot worse.
Swing and a miss.
Very difficult to locate that base when you're running top speed and there's extra wind in your ears. See if it affects the players.
Strike.
31.
Strike.
1 ball, 3
There has not
strikes.
been a strikeout yet in this game. We frankly don't expect to have many of them in today's contest. Ground ball in play. Left side, fielder has it, just had him.
Oh,
And that is brother v. brother. Eric retired by Tyler.
Come on, Mike.
Nice play by T.Y. I actually thought he was going to beat that out. As soon as he hit it on the ground, it's always a tougher ball to score on. I thought he was going to make it, but Tyler picked it.
Had both hands up and elevated it off the ground just before Eric was able to hit the bag.
All right, we're
Here's
setting
Mulherron,
the
who had the first run of the game.
Thank you.
Talk about all the talent the Thunder has. You know, Mulherron, Rodriguez, and Morris all live in Indianapolis.
Correct.
Imagine if they had them on the roster also.
Mulherron, contact made, left side, past a diving fielder, off the hands of Zach Bueller, and that is a base hit and a run for Nick Mulherron. Bueller just couldn't get to it in time.
They'll extend the Archers lead 4-2 here in the top of the second.
Now coming up to bat,
Ground ball past the short fielder. And again, just unable to get to it in time was Zach. So Mulherron is 2 for 2. Mulherron has made as solid of contact as any player has so far.
It's impressive since he hasn't even been out here playing this week.
Play.
Reference all the talent in Indianapolis. Again, there are 2 teams in Indy for a reason.
I used to do a beat ball podcast. I had Booker and many of his players on the show over the years, and as more and more young players were joining this squad. And I had to ask Booker, and it's like, are you guys putting in something in the water so people go blind just so you could have them as beat ball players? What are you doing? Where are you getting all these guys?
2 strikes.
Strike.
Third strike, still has a pass in which he can use. See if he'll take it here. Zion was retired as a putout in the first inning.
Only allowed to let one go by.
This will be the pass here.
Pass.
And again, times it as the ball goes by.
1 ball, 3 strikes.
So has to swing here.
I only used to pass when a pitcher asked me to. Otherwise, I'd like to just swing away.
Ground ball, left side. In play, past the short fielder. Bueller picks it up. Got him, just barely. Prince on the dive may literally have been in midair when that ball was lifted off the field. And again, for our sighted consumers of the broadcast, let's take a second look. Just got him, just barely got him. 2 down.
That's happened to Zion, both of his at-bats. He hasn't really elevated a ball yet like he's capable of, but with both of his at-bats, he was at the base when they fielded it. He just barely got put out both times.
Great job by our replay operator to show that to you. Again, so we put them simultaneously in a double box. You can see both frames there. Here's Johnston. Elevates this one. Short right side will not stay in either fair territory or cross the 40-foot line.
Ethan's been around for quite a while. Started out playing with Colorado when they were still a franchise. Ethan, Demetrius Morrow, and Rich Crussell, all of the Archers, played together in Colorado, even though all 3 of them were raised in Missouri. And now they're all back in Missouri playing for these Archers.
Swing and a miss. A little more clouds have taken over here. Again, the breeze is, you'll note it has picked up a little bit. Contact made, ground ball left side. Hops a short fielder. Can Bueller get there in time? He kicks it, so no. Runner is safe. Johnston makes it. Second run of the inning for Gateway.
Ethan's one of my favorite people in the league. Just a great human being.
Tim Chappell.
Ethan, a unique reaction to scoring. He punched the ground about 7 times. Not sure if he was mad about the path he took to get the base or what have you.
It doesn't sound like a celebration.
No, he was mad at life for some reason.
As I'm telling everybody what a nice guy he is.
We all have our moments, partner.
Yeah, exactly right.
So here's Tim Chappell, who scored his last time up. That was the play that was challenged.
Yeah.
Elevates this one, right side. This will spin into foul territory, and again, the early foul call was made because, again, as our sighted viewers could see, if Rodenbeck doesn't stop on that ball, good chance that he and Tim Chappell collide. We try to avoid that at all costs, but it does happen from time to time when base and the base that's beating the ball are aligned. You see Tim Chappell pull up, just trying to make sure he avoids contact, and Adam Rodenbeck pulls his left arm back.
That's another thing, if you're watching for the first time ever, that might look a little unusual to you. The bases are 10 feet off the baseline, and that's
ball elevated, right side, one hop, Rodenbeck has it, and that is the end of the inning. Now you can finish the story.
Yeah, so the bases are 10 feet off the baseline for that exact reason. You don't want players, the one player running for the base and another player running for the ball right on the line and not being able to see each other.
5-2 is our score as we are through 1.5 here in our championship game of the NBBA World Series. You're watching on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
This summer, the Glenview Lions are proud to support the World Series of Beep Baseball, where athletes with vision loss compete at the highest level. It's fast, it's powerful, and it shows what true determination looks like. For 75 years, the Glenview Lions have been serving our community with sight and hearing programs, humanitarian support, and hands-on service. Today, we're cheering on every player and celebrating a future where everyone can participate, compete, and thrive. Glenview Lions, serving with purpose since 1949. 6-1-2 coming up this time through. A few warm-up tosses for Jared Woodard. Fielder's still getting set for the Gateway Archers. Trying to hand the Thunder their first loss in their last 42 games.
Oh, my goodness. It's been a really good start for the Archers. Again, comparing it to yesterday, they've gotten off to a much stronger start. See what the Thunder have to offer here in the bottom of the second.
Generally, have the games been higher scoring or lower scoring here in the tournament, Neal?
Everybody came in expecting higher scoring games.
Kind of why I'm leading you with that question.
they've been pretty average. They haven't been too bad. I don't know that I've witnessed one game where they've scored more than 20 runs.
Tyler Rodriguez swings and misses, and the reason I say that is that the grounds are so immaculate here. The thought would be that the ball is going to fly and roll, kind of forever when you have some higher scoring games.
It's a beautiful facility. Although the Archers and the Chicago Commons played a game here not too long ago, a few months back, and the fields were much faster, and that's kind of the only, that was the only information we had coming into the World Series, so everybody was expecting fast fields, but these fields are beautiful.
Contact made right side, but foul. Pitch before was the pass, so 3 strikes in the pass on Rodriguez, so he must swing on this offering.
This whole facility is really nice, and what was beautiful about the size of it is the fields were pretty well spaced out.
Correct.
Sometimes the fields are too close together, and when that happens, it's a game of we're depending on our ears.
Ground ball, left side. Rodriguez hustling by the short fielder, past his brother. Third man gets to it, and I think just picked it up in time. Out. one away. I got to the third fielder on the left side for the Archers. We still had enough time to get it up off the ground.
When the fields are too close together, though, and we're depending on our ears, it makes it very difficult. So this place is so big. The fields have been spaced out. You hardly hear anything from the other games.
So Cody Jeffries, who was retired as an out, recorded by Eric Rodriguez in the bottom half of the first inning.
Love that walk-up music. Love that song, both versions, but he went with the Blues Brothers version, my favorite.
We're not that far from Joliet, so that makes sense. Swing and a miss by Jeffries. Dykes and Holland, the lone 2 runs so far for the Thunder, as they now mark their second trip through the lineup. Ground ball will clear the 40-foot line. Short fielder has to get it. Race to it. Got it.
Assume that was Mark Morris.
That is correct.
Yeah, I played the majority of my career playing up front, and I consider myself kind of a garbage man. It's like your job up front, when you get away with somebody just hitting a slow grounder, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. Good job, Mark, with the C.
Here's Zach Bueller.
Okay, we're set in the field.
Retired as an out with his speed. That is tough to do.
Yeah. This whole lineup. Anytime you put anybody out on the Thunder, you've done well.
Contact made. Line drive. Right side. Pass fielder 1. Pass fielder 2. And that's an easy run for Zach Bueller. All runs have come with 2 outs so far in the game here for the Thunder. They trail 5-3. And again, really with Zach, it almost has to be the first fielder that gets it. It got past the second fielder in Zion Prince.
Same with this batter here, Gerald Dykes, with his speed. If you don't get sure hands on it quickly, you're just going to run out of time. When I was on defense and playing against guys that had that kind of speed, felt like there was a timer going off in my head because you just don't have a lot of time.
Ground ball, left side, in fair territory, past the fielder, and that's another run for Dykes. That's Vincent Chu, by the way, that is the fielder that made the second put out of the inning, and that was the fielder that Dykes hit that ball past there.
Vincent Chu's from Taiwan, and he's played his whole career with the Taiwan home run, but Taiwan was not able to make this World Series, and Gateway reached out and pulled him all the way over from Taiwan.
That is some serious recruiting, and I mean that with no negative connotation whatsoever. Great look at our wonderful crowd we have put together here. Let's face it, it certainly helps that these two teams are both about 3 hours away from here.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier for friends and family on a Saturday to come be a part. Swing and a miss by Holland.
I called 12 games for the MBBA this week at the World Series, and yesterday's game between these two teams was by far the largest crowd.
Swing and a miss by Holland. And he's 1 for 1 today. He'll recalibrate here at the plate. What was your routine on situations like that when you try to put the bat down, trying to make sure you're lined up properly?
I always laid the bat down in front of the plate. Once I realized where the pitcher wanted my feet, I started laying the bat down right across the front of the plate, and I'd line my feet up off of where the handle was.
Foul ball after a pass, so 3 strikes and a pass is our current count. Thunder sent 5 to the plate last inning. Holland, the 5th batter in the inning this time around.
1 ball, 3 strikes. Play.
Contact made, elevated, left side. Past one fielder, off of Chu, and safe. Kind of a rough landing for Holland, just
after he hit the base.
Yeah, hit it at an awkward angle.
I very often rule
not only myself, but some of the players I've played with, we've been in agreement a long time that's the most dangerous part about this game is sometimes you don't quite hit the base the way you think. Like some of my most painful injuries have come after hitting the base.
Get to our
In the field.
So here's Aaron C. And Aaron recorded as an out. So tied at 5. And frankly, this is the type of game I think we expected between these two teams today.
Absolutely.
Swing and a miss. Ball just out of the reach of Aaron.
It's been an entertaining game so far.
Foul ball. 2 strikes, hasn't taken his pass yet.
2 strikes. Play.
So this is the pass coming here.
Pass.
Be swinging here.
Strike.
Swings over top of that one.
1 ball, 3
3 strike count. Swing and a miss. So first strikeout for either team today, and that will end the inning. But we are tied through 2 here in our championship game of the NBBA World Series from Aurora, Illinois. We're back in 30 seconds on the ISC Sports Network.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
Getting some of the crowd we've talked about that are taken in today's game. This is down the third base line, the Archers side of the equation. Thanks for joining us here on the ISC Sports Network, and we've had the pleasure of broadcasting the Love Tito's Beat Baseball Bonanza in Indianapolis on a yearly basis for the part of a decade. Our first chance to come up to the World Series, and want to thank all the folks with the NBBA for investing and having us here. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast wherever you may be watching from today. I think we have stumbled on the social event of the west side of Chicago today, Neal.
Gateway's going to have their 6-1-2 in their lineup coming up. It's going to have Mark Morris leading off. He normally is Gateway's leadoff batter. Last time Mark was up, he hit a grounder, but he again is somebody with tremendous speed. They worked very hard on getting him to elevate the ball, and he's done a good job of that. See if he could get one in the air a little bit and use his speed.
We had a brief shot of Zach Bueller. Can you explain the, I'm using the air quotes here, other adaptive sport that he plays?
Goalball, it's an indoor sport. Something I never thought about.
Morris with the ground ball. Let's finish in a second. Lined up fielder. Can he get it to it in time? No. Never could claim it. Bounced off of Tyler Rodriguez a couple of different times. Morris scores and make it 6-5 Archers.
So goalball is an indoor sport generally played on a floor that's similar to a basketball floor. You got 3 people on each side, each end of the court. They got to stay in kind of their own area. I used to know the numbers pretty good. I think it's 3 meters maybe that is the area they got to stay in. But you got a ball that's about the size of a basketball. It's got a bell in it, and you're just throwing it back and forth trying to get it into the opposite net. You cannot throw it in the air, though. There's a high ball line out in front of the front line of the box they got to stay in, and the ball has to hit the court before that high ball line. So it's not as easy as you think, just tossing that ball back and forth trying to get it through.
Foul ball. Rodriguez has been retired as a putout. in his first 2 times to the plate.
2 strikes. Play. Strike.
Swings over top of that one, and again, to use the sided baseball parlance, partner, he's trying to hit a bases empty grand slam right now. He is swinging for the downs, is Rodriguez. Let's see if he takes here or not. Does make solid contact. Right side, past a defender to the 170-foot line. Aaron C. on the dive, but I don't think got there in time. Believe that's a run for Rodriguez. Let's see. It was close. Given the applause from Zach Bueller, I think they're calling that as an out. Let's see.
Aaron, good job, big dog.
Yeah, they're going to say C got him.
Umpires taking their due diligence, make sure they get this right.
I believe that he had just elevated the ball, and I think kind of Rodriguez almost slid past the bag and didn't hit the pylon until his right arm until he was by it.
All right, we're set in the field.
I thought they were still discussing that, but I guess he's called out.
Play.
Well, we'll find out in a couple outs now, won't we? Again, we are removed from the field from a sound purpose standpoint. Mulheron elevates this left side. Mulheron flying, 1 hop, 2 hop, and safe. And that is the textbook definition, Neal, of why you want to elevate the ball in this sport.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you got speed and you could get it in the air, you're going to have a long, good career on offense.
Again, you could see a campfire. There were 3 players waiting for that ball to bounce and take a listen, and while they were doing that, Mulheron easily into the bag down the first base side, so he's a perfect 3 for 3 today.
Like I said, that's a nice little punch to their lineup. I wasn't expecting them to have. He didn't play all week. I'd heard he was injured. Comes in, already goes 3 for 3.
Play.
Let's go make the all-tournament team just from today.
Here's Zion Prince. Swing and a miss. So second strike on the foul on the attempt by Prince.
2 strikes. Play.
2-0. Ground ball, right side. Prince runs toward the base. Adam Rodenbeck has it. That's an out. That's just unfortunate. When you hit it to Rodenbeck, usually that's not a recipe for success as Rody makes another put out.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing that for a long time now. Adam started out when he was going to college in Texas playing with the Austin Blackhawks, but he's been playing with these Thunder for a long time now, doing that same thing.
Here's Ethan Johnston. Heron is 3 for 3. Johnston trying to join him in that group.
You know, something I wanted to add in about goalball when we were talking about it, because it's a Paralympic sport. It's the only Paralympic sport that doesn't have like a sighted version being played. All the other Paralympic sports are sports that, you know, able-bodied people are playing, but not goalball. It's the only one that does not have a sighted version of it.
I think we're waiting for a plane to clear. Or nope. We're making sure that the ball is beeping properly. These guys literally knock the stuffing out of it from time to time, and so hence you go through a few balls during the course of a game.
There was I don't remember which game it was with the Archers yesterday, but the cylinder came completely out of the ball. It was still beeping. Eric Rodriguez ran up and fielded it. He's holding a cylinder like, well, what?
Kind of like that moment in The Natural. That ain't a ball. Show us a real ball. 2-0 the count. Swing and a miss. Johnson just legged out a hit down the third base side his last time up. 3-strike count here and doesn't show signs of taking a pass. Nope. That is a swing and a miss. That is the first strikeout of the contest, and that is that for the inning. But again, it's pretty consistent. It's 2 or 3 at a time for each of these teams. It's 2 runs in the third, 7-5 lead for the Archers. Thunder come to bat when we come back as you're watching the 50th annual Baseball World Series on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
I want to make sure, again, I thank our tremendous crew, and I mentioned, sound like a pilot, our Indianapolis-based crew, our Chicago guys that are helping us today. Thanks to Jeremy Hayes on replay, Dan and Jerry Robinson on cameras, Bill Law and Bill Rush. Thank you, gentlemen, for your hard work today. And it was fun for me to explain the sport to our guys. You guys have seen this before? Okay, let me try to walk you through exactly what you're about to see, because, again, it is remarkable.
Now up to bat, number 39,
Tyler Rodriguez, who is 0 for 1. This marks the second trip through the lineup for the Indy Thunder. We're in the bottom half of the third inning. Play began on Monday.
Started out with 21 teams, narrowed it down to these 2. See who's going to be the last one standing.
Gets away. The Thunder's last year's winner in St. Louis. Ball elevated, left side. Rodriguez down the first base line. Bounces past fielder 1, fielder 2, can't get there in time. Tyler scores and make it 7-6.
Yeah, last year was the Thunder's 6th championship overall, going for number 7 today. If they do that, they'll equal the West Coast Dogs for 7 championships. That's the 3rd most. The Austin Blackhawks have 9. The Albuquerque True Sight, team that was around in the beginning, did all their damage back in the 80s. They have 8. West Coast Dogs 7. Right now, Thunder 6. Taiwan Home Run 5.
You know something about those West Coast Dogs, don't you?
I was a founding member of those West Coast Dogs. Most fun I ever had in my life. 15 years I spent with the Dogs.
Here's Cody Jeffries, who is 0 for 2 today.
Unfortunately, I only have 5 rings. I stepped away a little too early, Craig.
Ground ball, left side for Jeffries. Lined up, away from a fielder, and safe. Just couldn't get to it in time. It was Mark Morris. Just had the ball kick away momentarily, and Jeffries legs out his first run of the day, and we're tied at 7.
You know, both in the first and the second inning, the Archers pretty quickly got a couple outs before the Thunder put a couple on the board. But now in the bottom of the third, the Thunder have come out. Their first two hitters have scored. You got to wonder if this might be a point where Jared in that lineup start to get their Thunder roll on.
I've heard that phrase used with them before. So here's Bueller. And again, the runs until this inning have all become with 2 outs. So first 2 batters score. Bueller swings and misses. Thunder champs in 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, and 25. It's been all Indy teams that have won with the exception of the Philly Fire 2 years ago. Ground ball, left side, short fielder. Can he get to it in time? Yes. Bueller retired as an out for a second time today.
That's a big out. It's not easy. Well, none of them are easy, but Zach and Gerald Dykes back to back. If you could get one or both of them, you've gotten away with something.
Good job by Morris again, textbook. As soon as you get off the ground, hold it up as high as you can for the Lord and every umpire to see it.
You know, nothing's guaranteed in life, but the 2020 World Series was not held because of so much that wasn't held of COVID. There was a 8-team tournament that was hosted in Indianapolis that the Thunder did win that tournament, but had that World Series not been canceled, we could already be talking about their 7th championship.
Dykes scores on the base hit. Again, Chu could not get there in time. Ball kind of bounded past Zion Prince, who was actually with Dykes behind the 170 line. And for the first time, the Thunder have the lead. And Dykes a perfect 3 for 3, partner.
Yeah, he's just such a tough out. Year in and year out, especially playing with Jared, the best pitcher in the league. When we get to the banquet on Saturday night and they name off the offensive all-tournament team, Dykes is almost always on there.
Speaking of the banquet, you've got some business to attend to, correct?
Yeah, you know, beat baseball, even though we don't see any women on the field today, has always been a co-ed sport. But we also have an organization called the Women of Our League that play an exhibition game each year. It's all the women being featured. But they're doing a raffle. They got a whole bunch of cool prizes. They're selling tickets. If you're here listening to us live, they're selling tickets here. You can also get tickets for the MBBA's 50-50 raffle.
And if the Thunder win, that's it and that's all. They have claimed another championship. If the Archers win, we'll come back and play a winner-take-all game immediately afterwards. And I'm sure we're waiting for that plane to clear.
Yeah, again, this is a game of sound. We're dependent on our ears, so when we get things like planes and lawnmowers and anything else, it's usually when you see a timeout in this sport.
Trying to make sure it's not us, buddy. Annoying broadcasters.
That's why they got us out in the parking lot
Yes,
watching
sir.
it on a monitor.
We may be in Cook County at this point. Ball elevated, right side by Holland. Will be in play. Splits 3 fielders. Ball is picked up, and Holland missed the base. Ran right past the base, and that allows the second out of the inning.
You know, the wind's not blowing real hard right now. The breeze has cut down a little bit, but when I was talking about how difficult it is to run bases with the breeze going, I have to wonder if that had an effect on Justin there.
I also saw that Ethan Johnston and Eric Rodriguez kind of collided there for a second. Both guys say, hey, you all right? And seem to be fine.
Yeah, with all the defensive players, you know, blindfolded and not being able to see each other. For one, on defense, you got to kind of stagger your defense to where a player has room, you know, to move around, especially since you got to move fast. But also the players have to communicate with each other, especially balls that get in between.
Aaron C. in play. Right side, bounces past a fielder, should be a run. Aaron, like his old football days, tackles the pylon down the right-hand side. 4 running for the Thunder and a 2-run lead.
Big AC. But when you get a ball that's in between a couple of players, they got to communicate with each other. Kind of like when an outfielder in baseball comes running in and an infielder's running out, like somebody has to call it. You know, you can't just have both players going full tilt at each other and not know what's going on. Communication is humongous in beat baseball.
So for the first time in our 6 trips here in the bottom of the third, we'll see a player bat for a second time in the inning. It's Tyler Rodriguez. That speaks to how good the defense has been that this not happened yet until here in the home half of the third.
Yeah. If you're the Archers, you've got to find a way to get off the field. You don't want the Thunder to just keep going around in this lineup.
Tyler with 1 run today. Swings over top of that one. Ball was around his knees when he offered at it. Let's see if he gives a take here. Kind of looks that's what he's going to do.
Tyler and so many of these younger players now when they're bright colors. when I play, I just wore my uniform and any pads that kind of matched it. But the players now, they got all kinds of flashy colors.
Swing and a miss. Yes, for Eric, it's the pink batting gloves. For Tyler, it's the pink elbow sleeve. And then maybe a SpongeBob-inspired cleats and gloves he's working with. This one, elevated, right side. He's running left side, and he scores. Johnston just couldn't get a beat on it from a hand standpoint and make it 5 in the inning and a 3-run lead for the Indy Thunder.
You know, I mentioned I used to do a show featuring beat baseball, and when I first started it was just something silly I was doing during COVID. I just put my iPhone on and, you know, have one guest maybe. But eventually I'd start doing it on Zoom and putting it on YouTube. And the Thunder, when I started it that way, was the first team I featured with multiple players. And so I had Tyler and Corian White and Eric, Zach Bueller, had them all on there. And, you know, I'd been hearing about these, you know, like the all the pink they were wearing. And I'm thinking, oh, look at these young men. Like, they're...
Ball driven right side in fair territory. That's going to be an easy run for Cody Jeffries, who slides in the pylon. That one down the right field line, and obviously once it got past the base, even though it landed in fair then trickled foul, that is a fair ball. Consider that like what would be an extra base hit triple in sided baseball. An easy run for Cody Jeffries in beat baseball.
And this Thunder offense just keeps building momentum. This is a bad spot for the Archers right now, especially since they've got to win too. They had this game, you know, they didn't have it in control, but they definitely were in the driver's seat for a while, but they've allowed the Thunder to take over the momentum.
And frankly, a team timeout is being taken, so all of the field players, coaches, and captains getting together now for the Gateway Archers, and frankly, partner, the message you just delivered is the message that's being sent right now.
We got to get off the field, fellas. Yeah. This is slipping away right now. We can't afford this.
But to be honest with you, there is not in terms of inevitability of losing the game, far from it. But this Indy Thunder offense is so good, I'm sure the idea is, hey, listen, we got to score 15 or 20 minimum to beat these guys.
Yeah. And you got to hold them also.
Right.
You know, it's really a top-level offense, and you got to find a way to hold it down somehow for 6 innings. And we saw them holding it down for a couple, and now here in the third, the Indy Thunder are doing what the Indy Thunder do. But when I had the group on, and when I heard about all these, you know, pink whatever, I'm thinking, oh, look at these young men. They're supporting breast cancer. I'm proud of them. I'm going to talk about that on the show. And I asked them about it, and it was all about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. I was like, oh, you guys, you let me down.
Here's Bueller.
Good group of guys, though.
3 straight runs now have scored for the Thunder. Foul ball. Bueller is the 9th batter to the plate this inning. 6 here in the home half of the third. Both teams have scored at least twice every time through their lineup. Swing and a miss by Bueller, make it 2 strikes. Take inbound. So now 2-1. Ground ball. Will it clear 40 feet? It does. Race to get there. Out. So Bueller makes out 1 and 3 of the inning, and it's Morris that robbed him both times. But again, the Thunder send 9 to the plate. 6 of them come to score. They take a 4-run lead at the top of the 4th as you're watching on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
So welcome back on the ISC Sports Network. A special guest will be joining us here in a matter of moments. It is Darnell Booker. Of course, we know so well from his days with the Indy Thunder and with the annual Love Tito's Beat Baseball Bonanza held at North Central High School in Indianapolis. He is the first vice president, which means the jersey he is wearing today is not of the Indy Thunder, but as the organization in total. Book, it's good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
Good to be here. I'm doing all right. Just been a long week.
but I know it's a labor of love for you. What has this week been like for you and everybody involved?
So it's been amazing. Like I said, giving out here every day, making sure the players, volunteers are hydrated, bases, balls are working, and the weather has been great. So that's pretty much helped us.
How many World Series of these 50 now have you been a part of?
Since 1987.
So about 40 of them.
Yes. I've been involved in beat ball for 41 years, since 1985, but first 1987 to 87 in Ithaca, New York.
That was my first official World Series as well.
Neal, what is the role that Darnell plays in the sport nationwide?
Honestly, beyond, organizing the Bonanza and running the Thunder, now as first vice president organizing the World Series, Darnell's actually been a really good just a public figure for the game. He's always willing to go around, help teams. Sometimes you hear him in the background on these streams, and he's umpiring.
Tim Chappell swings, elevates this one right side, past Adam Rodenbeck, and safe. Just couldn't track it down. Could Rodenbeck or Rodriguez for the Thunder, and that is a leadoff run, and that is the second in 4 innings, and exactly what the Archers need. They're back within 3.
Darnell, I'm curious because I knew when you wanted this position. You've been organizing the Bonanza for 25 years, but that's an 8-team, 2-day tournament. For you, what's been the difference in running being the director, tournament director of the World Series? Much bigger project.
Yeah, just making sure all logistics are covered from, like I said, from field preparation.
Morris swings and misses, strike one.
Water, Gatorade, bases, and making sure we feed the live stream as well. So that's what we need to keep those guys happy, like you, Neal.
I've been working on the live stream all week, and Darnell kept us well fed.
Morris ground ball, dead ball, hit the pitcher. Mark Curtis could not get out of the way.
Yeah, from 8 teams to 21 teams, you just go through the process. And like I said, what helped me a lot was going to different regional tournaments, helping those guys out and preparing for this week-long event.
What have the folks in the city of Aurora and the Stewart Sports Complex been like to work with?
We used to have one strike.
Very, very.
Play.
It's been a good all the way around. The complex here has been great. The fields have been great. The players love it. Everybody loves it.
Ground ball left side, lined up, and he's safe.
Another one.
Mark Morris as Rodriguez and Justin Holland just couldn't get there in time.
It's a good job by Chappell and Morris. Now they're going to get the top of the lineup with no out. Good start to this top of the 4th for the Archers.
First time that the first 2 batters have both scored in the game so far for the Gateway Archers. Again, they have scored now twice in every inning. And here is Eric Rodriguez, who unfortunately is 0 for 3. He and Zion Prince, the 2 Archers players, have yet to cross home plate. Darnell, what is it like for you to be in an administrative role and not in a coaching role at this year's World Series?
Well, Greg, it's quite different, to tell you the truth. I'm not having to deal with strategies, game plans. I'm just, like I said, focused on being in a different position.
Unfortunately for Rodriguez, his day of struggle continues. He elevates that, but hits it right in the vicinity of one of the fielders on the left side for the Indy Thunder.
0 for 4.
Cody Jeffries able to make the play.
That's shocking.
You referenced some of the neon colors of the Thunder players in terms of gloves, socks, bat. Makes it easy for me to recognize Cody Jeffries, the red, white, and blue socks that he wears.
Oh, I like that.
Heron, who is a perfect 3 of 3 today. So, Darnell, when does preparations begin? When do preparations begin for next year's World Series event?
Probably about a week off, and then it's time to deal with 2027. Has definitely some challenges ahead weather-wise. Like I said, this has been great weather this week. So we got I have a weather team, and we sit down and we look at all the different scenarios about weather. So next year's going to really be a tough challenge with the weather being in Wichita, Kansas, and it's very, very hot.
Mulherron has swung twice and missed twice, so 2 strikes. Let's see if he goes for a take here. The answer, no. Skies this one left side, but in foul territory. Count now 3-0. Obviously, so much of the calendar year of Beat Baseball focuses on leading up to this event. What sort of events are there after this event for those that play this sport?
We have a all-star. It's the Ultimate Beat Ball Challenge, Ultimate Beat Ball Tournament. It's like all-stars are selected from this tournament and from all regional tournaments. There's a point system, and so we'll be having that the first weekend of October in Virginia on George Mason University campus.
The pass, 3 strikes and a pass. Mulherron lasers this one left field. Couple of hops past Zach Bueller. That'll be another easy run from Mulherron. He is 4 for 4.
Nice nice pickup for this offense. Buck, the All-Star weekend coming up in October, for the audience, it's kind of a different thing than most sports. They're All-Star events. I believe there's 4 teams that end up getting picked. There's enough players that will show up. There's 4 teams. They draft, and then they play a little tournament with the 4 teams.
Yeah, they play. It's a little round-robin tournament, and it was pretty good concept that we just developed and started, and it seemed to be working. It was a lot of good competition over the long day that we had. Everybody got in, had some batting practices. We did some clinics in the local area, so it went well the first year. This will be the second year of it.
Zion Prince swings and misses, so our score, Thunder 11, Archers 10, top of the 4th. 3 runs this inning for the Archers, matches their most, which was back in the first inning. Prince fouls this one back, and the count now 2 strikes and yet to take a pass. If someone is watching this sport for the first time, Darnell, and they want to get involved, what's the best way for them to do so?
We have a website, nbba.org, or if you're looking for a local team in your area, nbba.org/teams. So we're all over the internet and social, so they can get in contact if they want to volunteer, or they want to donate. We're a not-for-profit 501c3.
Prince, ground ball that just barely took it past the 40-foot line, and he has the base.
Tied up.
If that's a 40-foot line, that ball was at about 41 feet. Jeffries couldn't get there in time, and we're tied at 11. And Prince gets a run for the first time today. So the Archers now have tied this up.
Darnell, we've talked, talked a little bit during this broadcast about the pass ball. As a player, I really only took a pass if a pitcher asked me to. Sometimes, if you have one of those foul balls where you got to run 70, 80 feet before they call it foul, I might take it and take a breather. You've spent time playing and pitching. When you pitched, what do you want the players to do with the pass?
I usually have them do what we customally do with the Thunder, 2 strikes and then take a pass just to listen. So that seems like the work for what's going on.
Johnston, ground ball, left side, kicks away from a fielder, and Johnston will score. So the big inning for the Thunder being answered by a big inning for the Archers, and the Archers in front now, 12-11.
After that big inning by the Thunder, this is exactly what Gateway needed to do. If you're going to beat the Indy Thunder, you've got to match them because they don't stop.
So Chappell will get a second at-bat of the inning. First time the Archers have batted around in today's game.
And again, the Thunder are the home team, so the Archers are going to have to go into that 6th inning with a decent lead to be able to hold the Thunder off. So they're doing what they need to do right now, keeping pace with them.
Foul ball. Chapel 2 for 3 today and scored earlier this inning. Darnell, your thoughts about the level of play we've seen here in Aurora this week?
This has been high quality beat baseball. Everybody brings it. And
Chapel, right side again. That's lands in fair territory and then steers foul, but again it traveled far enough to keep that a fair ball. Another inside-out swing by Chapel and make it a 6-worthy inning now for the Gateway Archers.
Chapel 2 for 2 just in this inning.
RNC could not make the play in time.
You're going to see a high level of quality beat by both teams are great. They've been great all season at the top of the rankings, and it's showing here today. Like I said, every day is a new day in beat baseball. Forget about yesterday. Today is a new day, and like I said, the Archers are a very, very good, challenging team to the Thunder.
Here's Mark Morris, number 6 hitter. Hits that one right in front of home plate, so no chance to advance.
You know, Mark Morris lives in Indy, and he started with the Thunder and then played with the Edge before coming to the Archers. But when he was with the 2 Indy teams, he was mostly used as a designated fielder. Darnell, I've been so impressed with how he's turned into an offensive weapon while he's been with Gateway Archers.
Yeah, Mark's been one of the top players in our league as a two-way player, and he's won several MVPs as in our regional tournaments. So yes, he's been, like I say, he's definitely developed into a elite player on both sides of the ball.
And again, momentary pause for plane to go by per request of the right fielder.
It is in the air. Good job. Okay. All right, you good? Yeah. All right. Got 2 strikes. Wait.
It's the voice of Jason Price, our lead umpire that you're hearing. Elevated, right side. Ball past the first short fielder and safe. RNC couldn't get there in time. He had a lot of ground to make up, and the hit parade continues for the Gateway Archers.
We've talked about some of the family connections. Jason Price, the son of Kim Price, who's still umpiring, but he was one of our umpires back in my heyday. I can remember in the early 90s, Kim Price was umpiring. Jason now the head umpire of the whole league, but also his son Jaden Price is an NBBA umpire. 3 generations of Prices out here calling games.
This is a question really for both you guys, since you've been in for a similar length of time. Darnell, how has the sport changed, maybe say over the last few years?
Definitely the athletes are stronger, quicker, faster, and you're getting a lot of practice time with their pitchers, because a lot of these teams now do have indoor facilities. So if you're here in the Midwest or East Coast, you have these indoor batting facilities you can go to work on your craft. So like I said, definitely the athletes are stronger, bigger, faster, and we're getting a lot of youth involved, which is really, really great for the sport, like probably like high school and beyond. So yeah, that's why I think it's better.
Rodriguez smacks this one on the left side. That one past Bueller, and that will easily be his first run of the game. Rodriguez has been swinging for the downs and finally made contact with one solidly.
Probably nobody more relieved right now than Erod. Finally getting on the board. For me, there's just so much more beat ball being played now than before. Like in the 90s, there was one big invitational tournament held in Oklahoma every year that would have 8 teams. And there was a smaller one in Topeka, Kansas that would be held every year. But that was it. And it was really just teams that were close enough to drive to it. But, I mean, now we have a tournament in Las Vegas, Texas, Oklahoma. Puerto Rico hosted a little tournament in May. The Bonanza that gets held every year, the Bolingbrook tournament. There's just so much more beat ball being played, so the players have a lot more opportunity to develop now than they did before. Again, when I was in my heyday, you really just trained and got ready for the World Series, but now they got to train all year round because they're playing a lot more tournaments.
Yeah, that's the big thing as well. When I started playing, it was just basically training for the World Series. But now, like you said, you have so many regional tournaments popping up, and you're getting that extra time and getting yourself prepped for the World Series.
So defensive timeout taken by the Thunder. 9 to the plate. 8 have scored this inning for the Archers. And from 4 down to 4 up here on the top of the 4th inning. And Mulheron, who has been their most dangerous hitter at the plate, swings through that and misses. First strike of the at-bat. He is the one player yet to be retired in today's game for Gateway. Elevates this one left side, but does so in foul territory. The count now at 2 strikes.
Early on, there might have been 1 or 2 teams that you would hear about using indoor facilities to work on their offense and stuff during the winter. But now it's pretty common ground for all the teams to be doing that.
2 strikes. Play.
Two strikes.
Strike.
Swings and misses to Mulheron. There's the pass. It's now 3-1.
3 strikes.
Zion Prince, who got his first run of this game, is on deck. Foul ball.
1 ball, 3 strikes. Play.
Elevates this one. Left side, foul ball. This turned into one of the lengthier at-bats we have had so far in today's game.
Yeah, neither pitcher's been going deep into the count. It's where you really need discipline as a hitter. When you get this deep, you've got to still maintain that good swing for your pitcher.
Darnell Booker, our guest, first vice president of the National Beat Baseball Association.
How long you go sleep after this tournament's over, Darnell?
I hope for a couple days.
Mulheron, ground ball, left side, lined up, and he'll be out for the first time. It was Jeffries that makes the play. There's 2 down. All right, with 2 outs, I get to ask you this question in case we're short on time. But one of the things that you've heard Neal talk about, so many of the players have played for the Indy Thunder at some point in time. This team, the Edge, the Gateway Archers that we're seeing now. Darnell, what has allowed you to have this constant flow of talent play for the Indy Thunder over the years?
I think the pipeline with the Indy School for the Blind and visually impaired, and then Bosma in Indianapolis, and then just word of mouth. And as you can see, the city is big enough to hold 2 teams. So, but we were fortunate to have. I've coached a lot of these kids when I worked at the School for the Blind and wrestling and all different types of sports. So, and then like I said, they tell their friends. It's just a word of mouth, and then we just develop them. A good development, what our program does.
Zion Prince, the plate. First pitch foul ball. He's 1 for 4 today.
That's the local story. Also, you know, when you got a good program and a pitcher like Jared Woodard, for players like Cody.
Ground ball, left side, past the short fielder. Picked up, though, by Zach Bueller. That is anything. I'll let you finish that story when we come back. Darnell, we'll let you get you to your administrative duties. Thanks, my friend.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for being here, Ray.
You got it, buddy. Darnell Booker from the NBBA joining us. The Archers respond with 8 in the top half of the 4th. It is a 4-run lead for Gateway. Thunder comes to bat when we come back on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
Again, you are watching Beep Baseball, but the Beep Kickball Association wants to congratulate all teams, players, coaches, and volunteers here at the 2026 Beep Baseball World Series. We invite you to come play Beep Kickball. It's not just for kids anymore. Beep Kickball is the fun and exciting sport for all ages and abilities. For more information, visit us at beepkickball.com or learn more about other blind sport products at our new sister organization, Ability360lab.com. Rakestraw, Neal, McDonald with you on the ISC Sports Network. Sometimes the game gets in the way of good stories. So now you get to finish your story now that we're at the bottom of the fourth inning.
So for their out-of-towners like Cody Jeffries and Justin Holland, David Smith, I'm more focusing on Cody and Justin. You see what great athletes they are, and they were playing with a program in Atlanta that, that was not as built up as the Thunder, and the attraction for players like that to come to the Thunder, not just because they're a strong organization, but when you got the offensive abilities of Cody and Justin, getting a chance to play with Jared Woodard is hard to pass up.
Here's Dykes, who swings and misses. He is the only Thunder player who is yet to be retired today. He's a perfect 3 for 3. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 6th in the third for the Thunder. Ground ball, left side. Morris has it lined up, backing up, and he's got it. First time that Dykes has been retired, 1 away. Third time in 4 innings that the leadoff man has been retired by the fielders in play for the Archers.
Any time that you're able to put away G, you're going to sigh with a big relief. That's not an easy out. I don't remember the numbers exactly. I want to say you said coming into this game he was already like 13 for 18 in that
neighborhood, yeah.
And then he's just building on that. That's a big out for this Archers defense.
Holland retired for the first time last inning. And able to make that one. Ball up the middle. Again, Holland's speed just too much, and the Thunder on the board for the first time in the bottom of the 4. And just past Rodriguez, and by the time it had gotten to the center fielder partner, it was too late.
Yeah. With many of the players on both these lineups, you don't have a lot of opportunity because of their speed. You've got to make clean plays, get to the ball and pick it up quickly, or you're just not going to get it.
So here's Aaron C. Struck out once, scored once. This one elevated left side. He runs right side. Bounces past Chu. Can Chu get to it? Very close. I think he was called out. Bang, bang play. We'll get a second look for those of sided that are enjoying it. And Chu wearing the rare glove out in the outfield.
I was just going to bring that up. It's not often you see beep ball players using gloves. A lot of the balls, as we're seeing, you don't get fielded till they're on the ground. And at that point, you need your hands to be able to pick it up. We're not snagging balls out of the air, so it's pretty rare that you see a player on the defense playing with a glove, but Vincent Chu is one of them.
Great job again by a camera crew to show you that, yes, that wasn't out. Ball was in his hand and off the ground before Aaron was made sliding contact with the bag. So 2 out here in the inning. Archers have led for most of this game. Thunder took the lead in the home half of the third. Ball elevated, middle of the park. 1 hop, knocked down, and I think he got him. Yep, that's an out.
Wow. What a defensive inning for these Archers after a big offensive inning.
Just 4 batters the plate for the Thunder. Only Holland scores. Again, we take a look at the replay and had the ball off the ground by the time that Tyler Rodriguez hit the base. 3-run lead for the Archers. To the top of the 5th we go on the ISC Sports Network.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
Look at Aaron C. out in right field for the Indy Thunder.
This is a much different game than what we witnessed yesterday, Greg. The Thunder jumped all over the Archers. The Archers didn't even score until the 3rd inning. And at the end of the 4th inning yesterday, the Thunder were up 17-5 and had the Archers in the run rule. So this is a completely different game than what we saw yesterday. And it's been a very entertaining game.
So we have double elimination, right?
Yeah, I don't think they got the note that you have tickets to a concert tonight, Greg.
That's quite all right. Plenty of time. So Ethan Johnston, 11 batters to the plate last inning for the Gateway Archers. Ethan 3 for 4 in today's game. Well, Heron has scored 4 times. That leads the charge.
All right, we're set in the field.
And now for both teams, every player has been retired at least once in today's game.
For me, that's the best part of it. None of this, they're not giving outs away. No strikeouts.
Johnston elevated, left side, in fair territory, between 2 fielders, and safe. Bueller just couldn't track the ball down and hit him, but couldn't collect it. Johnston scores for a 4th time, and the Archers tack on another one.
I think, by my count, we've only had 2 strikeouts, 1 from each side.
You are correct.
Yeah, I don't like giving away outs. Strikeouts just makes it too easy for your opponent, and they're making, both sides are making the defense earn it. I love that.
There's Tim Chappell. Chappell scored twice last inning. He's 3 for 4 for his day. Team captain for the Archers. Left side, bounding ball, kicked and out. On the pickup, that's Holland, 1 down. That was in deep left center, partner.
Thought for sure when you said kicked that they were going to lose that opportunity, but Justin stayed with it, made the play.
Well, there's 2 different types of kicking. There's kicking it away from you, then there's kind of kicking it back towards you. It was the latter that Holland did.
Okay.
You make sure I'm on my point from a descriptive standpoint.
Whatever works, though, to make the play. Right. Good job, Justin.
All right, we're set in the field.
So here's Morris. Morris has scored each of his last 3 times up after being retired as an out his first time through. Ground ball. Will it clear the 40-foot line? Yes. Rodenbeck charges and got him.
Oh, nice play, Adam Rodenbeck.
That's Jeffries. Excuse me. Jeffries got it. My apologies.
All right.
Jeffries got it. Rodenbeck has the right side. Jeffries has the left.
Either side. When you're playing short, you know, everything in front of you all the way up to the 40-foot line you're responsible for. And when you got the kind of speed Mark Morris has running down the base, you got to go straight to the ball and pick it up. And that was an impressive play by Cody.
Trying to keep the Archers in striking distance. The 4-run lead is as large as it has been for either side today. Thunder briefly led 11-7. Archers now have led 15-11 and 16-12. Rodriguez got his first run in 5 tries his last time up. Swing and a miss.
If you would have told me by the 5th inning Eric would be 1 for 5, but the Archers would be winning, I would not have believed that.
Pass coming here.
That's interesting for me to hear from Booker that that's kind of a team, maybe not a team rule, but a team thing they do to.
Ground ball, right side, fair territory. Going to be tough. Rodenbeck couldn't get there. C can't get there. Run for Rodriguez.
Now we have our first 5-run lead of a game for either side.
There's Mulherron. Retired as an out for the first time, his last time up.
Yeah, but hearing from Booker that the Thunder, it's kind of automatic. If you miss the first 2, you let one go by. I don't know that I've ever known of a team that had a particular system that they use with that pass ball.
Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you. Play.
Base check before every at bat.
Just my own personal thinking, but you got Jared Woodard. I don't feel like you need to take a pass. Swing away.
Heron did exactly that on that one. Contact made, elevated, left side, bounces up and over Beeler, and that's nothing that could be done about that. A run from Mulherron. First player to tally 5 times in today's game. Bounced right over Zach, and at that point, that run was in the books.
I'm probably going to jinx it, but we haven't seen a pitcher get hit in this game, and I hope that we don't. It's very common in our sport. They're only 20 feet away from home plate as they deliver that 1-pound run.
Did have 1 deflection in today's game. 1 dead ball on a hit pitcher. Thankfully, it was not anything too terribly bad.
In the early days, no pitcher wore any kind of protection. A lot of the pitchers now are getting smarter and wearing headgear. Jared Woodard took a really bad shot a few years ago and broke his jaw. He was drinking his food through a straw for months.
1 strike. Play.
So once again, the Archers bat around. Prince made the last out of the last inning. He is 1 for 5 today. Elevates this one, left side. Bounces, and safe. Holland couldn't track it down.
It has been a long time, Greg, since the Indy Thunder have been in a situation like this. I know you saw it in the Bonanza back in May.
We talked about this. You got to get to 15 or 20 to have a chance against the Thunder. Archer sitting on 19 in the top of the 5th inning.
Going back, talking about pitchers getting hit, the first game I called for the MBBA this week, Monday night, between the Chicago Comets and the Philly Fire, Pat Krause, the pitcher for the Fire, took a laser beam straight in the chest and ended up breaking a rib. He did not pitch on Tuesday, and he pitched, though. They finished 3rd. He pitched all the way.
Ball hit left side, past Bueller, and safe. Holland couldn't get there in time. Johnston scores.
Wow. This is a very impressive run by the Gateway Archer.
Make it 20 for Gateway.
But the Philly Fire finished 3rd, so Pat Krause ended up pitching with that broken rib Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Don't know how he did it.
Here's Tim Chappell.
Makes me uncomfortable thinking about it.
13 runs in the last 2 innings for Gateway.
Yeah, you're trying to beat a team like the Thunder, you got to hang crooked numbers. I did not expect the size of these crooked numbers over the last couple innings.
Foul ball. And again, folks, just joining us, if the Archers win, we will have the if necessary game with both teams now having a loss for the tournament. If the Thunder are able to come back and win, that's it. have the game in hand coming into the final day. Ground ball, left side, knocked down, and Jeffries will track it immediately, and that is the end of the inning. But in total, 5 more runs score, the last 4 of them with 2 outs in the inning. And the Archers have an 8-run lead. Looking to hand the Thunder their first loss in nearly 2 calendar years. Back with more in a moment on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
Good to see that Jerry's not afraid of heights up there behind home plate. Hello, Jerry. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on the ISC Sports Network. Our coverage of the 50th Annual National Beep Baseball Association World Series being held at the Stewart Sports Complex just outside of Aurora, Illinois. Greg Rakestraw and Neal McDonald with you. Outstanding crowd on hand and great crowd online, wherever you might be watching from, whether you're joining us via ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC's Twitter, YouTube, ISC TV, Apple TV, or Roku. All the places you can find today's game.
It's an amazing opportunity for the National Beep Baseball Association. 50 of these World Series championships, and we have never made it on real TV. So thank you to the ISC Network for making this possible for us.
All right, so top of the lineup rolls through here. Jeffries, who's scored his last 2 times. Jeffries 2 for 4, Buehler 1 for 4, Dykes 3 for 4 of the guys due up this time through.
So you were talking about it a little bit in the last half inning. This is a double elimination tournament. By the time we get to the championship game, there's one team that's undefeated and one of the teams has 1 loss, and the team with 1 loss has to win 2 to win the championship. And over the 50 years, Greg, it just has not happened a lot. Generally, the team that comes in undefeated walks away with the championship. Gateway wants to do something that's rarely done and force a second game.
1 strike. Play.
Fouls back the first offering.
I played in 9 championships.
Ground ball will clear the 40-foot line. Race for the ball and out.
Nice start.
Morris makes the play, 1 down.
I played in 9 championships, and unfortunately one of those rare times I was on the field when it happened in the 03 World Series title game against the Chicago Comets. My West Coast Dogs went in as the undefeated team and frankly the heavily favored team, and the Chicago Comets beat us twice for their the only championship by any Chicago team. Chicago's been represented in the World Series by like 7 different teams over the years since the very beginning 50 years ago, and that's the only time that a Chicago team walked away, and they beat us twice to do it, unfortunately.
Sounds like a similar winning percentage for the White Sox and Cubs in World Series. Ground ball, left side. Buehler flying right side. Morris knocks it down, got him again.
Wow.
Just hitting ground balls at fielders. And credit the Archers, they're making the plays, 2 down.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Mark Morris on offense. I have, and you know, when he was playing for the Indy teams, he was kind of used like a utility player, moved around a lot, spent a lot of time in the outfield. But something else that changed when he went to Gateway is they made him their short left, which is the hot spot. Every team considers that the hot spot that gets the most action. And he's been fabulous playing up there for the Archers over the last few years. And you saw that in the last 2 plays.
Here's Dykes. 3 for 4, out last time. Elevates this, left side, base left side. Bounding ball. Dyke is flying down the line, and he's safe. Thunder get one back.
Gerald Dyke is trying to get a 2-run rally going for the Thunder, and they need it in the worst way right now.
And again, just how he hit that ball, that was going to be next to impossible to get him with his speed.
Yeah.
Here's Holland, 3 for 4.
Mitch and Justin hit a home run earlier in the week. Be a good time for another one. Be worth 2 runs and be a good way to start getting back in this game.
Foul ball. Holland swings, elevates this left side. Bouncing ball, Morris. Got him. All 3 putouts by Morris in the inning. And for a second consecutive inning, the Thunder score just 1 run. This has all the earmarks of playing 2 today. To the top of the 6th we go. Archers lead it by 7 on ISC.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
To the top of the 6th we go. Great panoramic look. We're on the northern end of what are normally the soccer fields that are here. That's the type of field that best translates into what you need from a beep baseball standpoint. Get 21 teams part of this tournament. Most teams, most events are in the year kind of 4-team, 8-team events. This complex has been a wonderful host all week long.
I've talked earlier about how hand-ear coordination's nowhere near as accurate as hand-eye coordination, and it's not just with trying to catch the ball, but in beep baseball, what we're generally taught, or what I'll teach players when I'm coaching, is move, get in front of the ball, and then hit the ground. Try to build a wall in front of the ball, because just trying to reach out and pick it out of the grass is not going to work in your favor most of the time. So playing on grass rather than a dirt infield is much better on our bodies.
All right, we're setting the field.
Here's Morris.
Bases, please.
Rule in sided baseball is if you make a great defensive play, then you get to come up and bat first the next inning. Morris made 3 of them in the last inning. So very fittingly batting first here. Ground ball left side, base goes the right way, ball knocked down, and Morris gets a taste of his own medicine. Again, Jeffries kicks the legs out, holds up the ball, snags him, and there's 1 down.
Yeah, the Thunder have to match what the Archers did. If they're going to come back and take this one here in the first game, they've got to get off the field quickly. They can't let the Archers put too much more separation, or it's just going to be too big of a mountain to climb, even for Woodard and his weapons.
So Rodriguez, after being retired his first 4 plate appearances, has scored each of his last 2. Things over top of that one. And he does not get cheated on a swing.
Rodriguez, another one with home run power.
I'll make sure we have the properly working ball as the reason for the momentary delay. So our game is approaching the 2-hour mark.
For as high a scoring as it's been, it's pretty well, it's moving well.
Play.
Contact made, left side elevated, in fair territory. Race, and Rodenbeck couldn't get there in time. Okay, not Rodenbeck, but Jeffries, excuse me. And that's one of those situations where ball and base and runner and fielder were not far apart.
That makes it really tough on the defensive player because not only are they trying to lock in on the sound of the ball, but now they got the buzzing of the bass in their ears also. Playing inside and playing short where you're inside of the sound of the bass, it's terrible trying to field the ball close to the line when that bass is going off.
And that ball nearly trickled foul. Just stayed in fair territory.
That would have been a very impressive play if Jeffries could have pulled that out because that's a very difficult situation.
Then we're going to challenge this to see if that ball actually did get into foul territory. So second challenge of the game. First one for the Thunder. And so again, what Jason Price wants to see is did that ball actually get into foul territory? It did not travel far enough where it had already been established in fair and then could go foul. That is what the white line you're going to see is here down the third base line. The great camera work from behind home plate to show you. So again, before before Jeffries touched the ball, did that ball clear that line? Was it actually in foul territory? And inches, maybe inch would be the best way to describe it. Jeffries touched it, but when he did touch it, had it already gone foul, or was it still on the white paint?
Was it his touch that knocked it foul?
And again, you can hear, we've got Jason mic'd up, so you can hear him going through the exact thought process that I was there too.
After review, the play stands. His hand touched it while it was still on the white.
Great job by our camera crew to show you that. And love having this technology to make sure we get the calls right. Call stands, and it's 21-13.
It's late in the game. They still had their two challenges. Why not? They're going to lose that challenge now. They're down to one, but why not, use your challenges while you have them, especially when you're on the losing side right now.
Bases, please. Thank you.
Here's Mulheron, 5 of 6.
Play.
I guess I really had nothing to base it on other than listening to your reaction, but my gut feeling was that was not going to be overturned. Guess I look smarter if I think
you surmised correctly. Again, it was close. It was worthy of a challenge.
One strike. Play.
Elevated, left side, Mulheron. Bouncing pass, Bueller, and safe. So Mulheron gets his 6th run in 7 tries, and the lead grows to 9 for the Gateway Archers. And Mulheron has been a real difference maker for the Archers, putting him in the lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, look, when you're missing any player due to an injury, it's nice to get them back. But, I mean, Nick Mulheron's no average player. Getting him back for a championship game, it gives you a nice boost. And look at the difference it's made for this Archers team today.
So Zion Prince is 2 for 6, but he has 2 of his last 3.
Play.
It runs in every inning for the Archers. Line drive, left side, and that's on one hop. That's the inning. Double play.
Double play. Boy, did the Thunder need that.
Jeffries got it on one hop, and that is the end of the inning because it counts as 2 outs. Folks, that does not happen. It is all 3 outs if you catch it in the air. Jeffries on one hop, put it between his knees, grabs with his hands, and that counts as 2 outs.
Nice play, Cody.
And despite that great play, the Thunder trail by 9, going to the home half of the 6th inning. Back with more in a moment on ISC.
Nice play, Cody.
Every incredible play you're seeing today started long before the players took the field. Playing at the highest level requires preparation, determination, opportunity, and the belief in what's possible. The Chicago Lighthouse practices these qualities every day for people who are blind, visually impaired, disabled, and veterans. As proud sponsors of the 50th Beep Baseball World Series, we celebrate the athletes on this field and the limitless potential they represent. The Chicago Lighthouse, lighting up human potential.
Well, in the years that, again, I've not done this event, but in the years of the Beep Baseball Bonanza, we've talked about, hey, 2 outs for 1 hop, end of the inning, whatever it is, could be as many as 3 outs if you catch in the air. I've not seen that before, partner.
It's a newer rule. I believe 2023 was the first time that rule was put into play. So it's a newer thing, and I've played defense for over 20 years, and I only caught a 1 hopper that I remember in a practice. So I wasn't expecting it to have as much impact as it has. I was streaming a game with the Indy Edge just yesterday. Corey White, who I'm sure you're familiar with, he may end in an inning in the same fashion with the double play. It adds a little excitement to our game, I think.
So for the Thunder, it's quite simple. Score 10, you're the world champs.
Right,
Score 9, you get it to a 7th. Score only 8 or less, and you're going to come back and play a winner-take-all game about a half an hour past this one.
It is, yes, sir. Play.
If there's any team in the league that can lay a 10 spot on a team, it is this Indy Thunder team.
Aaron C. is 1 for 4 today. Does have the only strikeout of the day for the Thunder.
With that said, that's a tall tale, though, in the way the Archers have played defense.
Ball right side. Short ball just past the 40-foot line, and he's safe.
Aaron C. beats out a short ball.
Well, Aaron couldn't get there in time, and again, frankly, Aaron would be just as surprised as you were by that. That's not typically how he gets the job done.
So Aaron C. is a great athlete, but he is not the fastest player on this Thunder team.
So 1 for C. It's now an 8-run deficit.
Now that's a spot where Nick Mulherron having been out for a while, where it might have had an effect on the play, a little rusty on defense since he hasn't been out there doing it. I don't know if that was the case, but those are balls that you kind of gotta be working on, and if he's been out for a while, I wonder if that made it a little more difficult to react to it.
Play.
Here's Tyler Rodriguez, 2 for 4. Retired as an out his last time up. Right side. That is a fair ball. Ball to the third base side and out. Outstanding work to track that one down by Johnston. That had run written all over it. Screamer down the first base line, but just couldn't get to the bag in time, and there's one away.
Ethan's been a dependable fielder since his beginning days back with the Colorado Storm.
Nice play, man. That's the first double play I've had on my
Here's Jeffries. Jeffries is 2 for 5 today. And the Thunder, undefeated last year, have not lost a game this year. They've got 1 to play with here in the tournament, but any loss for them is notable.
Again, you called a game back in May between these two teams that I want to say that Archers at one point were in front like 10-2 or something in that game. I wasn't calling that game. I was calling another game. So you may remember more better than I, but the Archers controlled that game for most of it, but the Thunder found a way to finish them off. I want to say Thunder were down 5 or 6 runs in that game coming into the bottom of the 6th.
I just so happen to be using the same scorebook that I am today. So we're gonna fill in some details here in a matter of moments.
Strike.
Swing and a miss. believe that was a 20-6 or 20-19 win for the Thunder. They were down 2, actually down 3 going to the bottom of the 6th inning and won.
Okay, I thought it was more distance than that, a little bigger gap.
Strike.
Swing and a miss by Jeffries.
1 ball, 3 strikes.
3 strikes and his pass.
So this is a little different, quite a bit different.
Little higher mountain to climb.
Yeah.
Batter's out.
Swing and a miss.
Wow.
Jeffries immediately taps his chest, so that's my fault.
Wow.
But now down to a final out are the Thunder.
Number 24, Zach Bueller.
Zach Bueller now, who has been retired 3 straight times. Believe me, that is rare. He is 1 for 5.
That's very rare.
And again,
Set in the field.
if we get to the second game, Archer's automatically the home team.
Thank you.
They flip.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't do a coin flip.
Elevated, right side. Bueller flying down the line and safe. Mulherrin couldn't get there in time.
Still alive.
Bueller gets his second run of the game. And now Gerald Dykes has been the best offensive player for the Thunder. He's 4 for 5, and he is due up next. Dykes for the tournament, 17 for 23.
Wow. I think tonight at the banquet we might be hearing his name again.
All right, we're
And
set
amazing,
in
that's the
field.
second best batting average on the team. Justin Holland
Yeah.
actually tops him.
Justin
Thank
came
you.
into this game with
Play.
having only been put out 1 time.
That's correct. He's 3 for 5 today. Dykes swings and misses.
Justin's been put out more in this game than he was the whole week leading up to this.
Strike.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Taken all the way.
Pass.
So there's the pass.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Elevated, left side. Running towards the first base bag. Bounces, past Chu, Dykes scores.
As soon as you say elevated, I know that's going to be a run. If Dykes gets that up in the air, it almost has to land in your hands to have a chance to get him.
Now it's Holland. And Holland 3 for 5 today. Next 6 batters all have to reach, barring home runs for the Indy Thunder.
I have him at 17 for 19
All right,
for
we're
the
set in
week.
the field. Bases, please.
17 for 20.
I
Thank
did
you.
bad math,
Play.
didn't I?
It's live TV, it happens. Swing and a miss. He was 17 for 19 until his last at bat.
1
Now he's
strike.
17 for 20.
Play.
Qualify for the all-tournament team, you got to have 20 at-bats. That's got to put him in the MVP race.
Ground ball, left side, and fielded out.
Oh,
That's it.
That's your ball game. We are going to play 2, Yogi Berra.
Rodriguez makes the play, and for the first time since 2024, the Thunder come up short. Final score in what is now Game 1, the Gateway Archers 22 and the Indy Thunder 16. So what we will do is we will step aside. We'll give our crew a chance to take a break. Give us about 25, 30 minutes, and we will come back for our winner-take-all championship game. So now, one game will decide a World Series championship. Gateway and the Indy Thunder be back at about noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time for that one. For now, a temporary goodbye from Neal McDonald and our entire ISC Sports Network crew. This is Greg Rakestraw. Back to Aurora, Illinois in just a few minutes as you're watching on ISC.